So yeah, they had a combat cast we missed, but yeah, that's the beauty of missing things. You can just go straight into them talking about Omni-Man. We have to find it first. All right, here we go. I think we found it.
That has super speed. It's kind of interesting. We've had a lot of characters who are really fast. We've had a lot of characters that are super strong, and he kind of combines them in pretty neat, interesting ways.
So he's fast.
So let's check him out.
I can't wait.
His normals first.
All right, so
they are
this
pretty
is the
straightforward.
Okay.
He punches, and he punches really hard.
All the punching. All the punching.
All
the haymakers.
That's exactly right. This is not a martial artist. You know, he's not.
It's not bad.
There's not a lot of finesse here.
Right.
One of the first moves I'd like to show is his forward four.
Okay, he has Tremor with
pretty
him.
good advancing mid. Slams you down. A lot of his moves are high. So this is kind of one you want to go mid. Another really
is that
good,
a string right there?
Yes.
Got it.
Yeah, at the end is just a 1+3 input.
You know I love them.
Right. Another really good mid up close is his back one. And it has two options. Back 1/1 pops them up. And back 1/2 is mid.
Yeah, you got a lot.
I really hope he's got some cool air combos, but we'll have to wait, I guess.
Well, I'm sure.
Right.
He also has some really interesting mix-ups to open up the opponent. Like, for example, his sweep is pretty unique.
Oh,
He drops down and does
whoa, that thing just comes out quick.
damage
Because he's
Is
that
it?
fast.
because he's super fast.
What a show off.
Oh, so that's like that's the end combo then.
He also has 4-3 where he literally just stomps the ground and creates an earthquake.
So strong.
Can you
And then
combo
I
that?
think this is one of his coolest moves. He has an awesome long-range overhead
Uh-huh.
where he zips across the screen
Nice.
super fast, and he's up close, holds it behind you.
Oh, this man is
Yeah, it's just forward too.
What?
And
Man,
you can see it
Scorpion.
has really good range.
That's all I'm gonna need.
he's
Yeah, you can mix it up with the sweep.
yeah, he's
just loves
freaking
putting
Scorpion
people's faces in the
a little bit.
Yeah, he's a strong guy. So let's go over his special moves. Great.
Yeah.
One unique thing about Omni-Man is he actually has a lot of aerial mobility. All of his special moves can be done in the air. He has ground and air versions of all of them, which is pretty unique to MK. First one I'd like to show is the Mega Clap. Puts his hands together.
Oh
It's
shit,
not
he's
tag kick, it's the Mega
he's got
Clap.
the fucking
Sends
Hulk.
them very far. It's a great combo
Hulk
ender,
clap,
with
too?
Punisher, mid-range footsie tool.
What?
Could you almost use it like zoning too?
Exactly.
Oh, okay.
Keep them
Okay.
in, keep them out.
Yeah.
The
Oh,
EX
so it's
version goes
mid.
Not full screen.
Okay.
The EX version goes even further and will destroy projectiles.
Oh, okay.
Mm.
He's just tearing up the ground. Everything he does.
He also
Yeah,
has this
he's just a straight brawler.
big charge move where he literally
Ah,
just
here's
like,
my chest.
charges in with his chest. And we've all learned in the 90s in N64 wrestling games that if you put your chest
Yes.
out, you're blocking moves. So if you can just barge
Got
in.
that freaking Broly going with
And
him
the
too.
EX version has armor, so this is kind of as advancing. You think they're gonna do like a projectile, you want to get in, kind of similar like a Johnny Cage Shadow Cut. Another special move he has that, and you'll see this, being able to close the gap is a reoccurring theme with Omni-Man.
Gotcha.
He has
Get in
this,
there and punch.
exactly, torpedo move. A
Nice.
superhero classic. He can do this in the air and it actually goes downwards. To pop the opponent
This
up.
kind of reminds me. That's like that is like the classic Superman
Another
one.
move great for just full screen at any moment. You can see it's very quick.
Yeah, he has that. He has the old classic Superman freaking one. It's pretty much got almost like the old DC versus kind of giving me the picture in mind of this. Got those hits, those swings he has. Yeah, it's giving me he's giving me those combos he's doing. Omni-Man is doing, but only Omni-Man don't have Superman doesn't have the aerials Omni-Man has, you know. Of course, all the laser stuff. He's hitting them. He's hitting the old classic way and stuff. You know? Yeah. Anyway.
So this is interesting though, because if you do it on the ground, you're not following up.
Correct. But if you do it in the air, you get to pop up.
Very cool. I also really like how the blood from his opponent gets onto his.
It's just like it's more brutal with Omni-Man.
It's pretty awesome. Like I know that we get blood on everybody, but for some reason on him it just looks.
Like they took those axes and just slightly changed them up
let's go
more
over his most interesting special move that I think really sets him apart.
and gave him very more. What?
So it's down back
Aerials, maybe?
and he starts hovering in the air.
Ooh.
And from here, he has 4 different moves plus a bunch of mobility options. Let's start with the mobility. You
Options.
can cancel it, but he can also warp forward.
Oh, shit, that's sick.
And again, he can do this in the air like all of his special moves.
This is pretty awesome.
But we'll go over his moves.
That's
First,
neat.
I think is one of the key moves, which is this grab.
There's the
And this
combo.
is like his main combo starter. You can quickly go into it.
That can be like a brutality right there. To stomp through the chest right there. Yeah, that could be like, I think that's a brutality.
Just dragging people in the dirt.
He also has this move where he zooms across super, super fast behind you. That's a great combo.
Like grabs
ender.
the
It's a great
spine.
check. You think the opponent might try to like throw something out when he's in the stance. You can quickly go into it. He also has an overhead from anywhere on screen. He drops down.
So it tracks.
Exactly.
Oh my goodness.
And then lastly, a big
like a new
anti-air
sidebot.
uppercut and zooms across and then covers all the upward space. So it's kind of like the upwards version of the zip behind you.
I
Yeah.
love that spine break.
It's so cool. I like the facial animation. So then the question is,
Isn't neat?
how am I supposed to go into this stance when you're doing projectiles, you're doing long-range normals and all that? And he's just vulnerable floating there, right?
Yeah.
Well, I don't think
Wrong.
he really is.
I don't think so.
No.
So in Viltrumite's stance, when he does it, he's immune to all fireballs. They will literally
What?
just pass through him as long as he's in it. And that includes in the air.
That's some of the coolest stuff I've ever seen.
It's definitely
It's pretty awesome.
Just dodging.
Yeah, he
EX
just
version
dodged it.
starts up faster and also makes him immune to normal attacks as well.
What?
And then he can go in and punish
Oh, that's
them
sick.
So cool.
as they're recovering.
Yeah, that's sick. I
Final
like
times to
that.
use that's gonna be really interesting.
Yes. And again, he can do that in the air. The EX version is very, very quick.
It's gonna be embarrassing too.
Very, very, very.
That's awesome. I love it.
And then lastly, for his mobility, he has a unique
Oh, I could
air
definitely
dash.
see him being
This
toxic
actually has a
character. He's one of
physical
those
hit
little
attached
check
to it. It doesn't
characters,
just
you
pass
know?
through the opponent. So you can see he spins the opponent around for a
Oh
free
my
hit.
god, the
And you can do
disrespect.
2 as
I
long
can
as you have
see it.
meters, so you can do stuff like
It's going. Ooh.
to do some really cool flash.
Shit.
So you can use that to get in, you
Um,
can use it to get out, and it'll always have that physical hit. So again, to recap that,
yeah.
if you just do it for the first time, it doesn't take any meter. If you want to do
Okay.
it twice, like in a combo like I showed,
We gotta go back and see that
air
again.
dash. This actually has a physical hit attached to it. It doesn't just pass through the opponent. So you can see,
Yeah.
spins the opponent around for a free hit. And you can do 2 as long as you have meters, so you can do stuff like to do some really cool flashy combos. So you can use that to get in, you can use it to get out, and it'll always have that physical hit. So again, to recap
That was sick.
if you just do it for the first time, it doesn't take any meter. If
So
you
that
want to do
just-
it twice, like in a combo like I showed,
Right.
it's going to take a bar. Similar to how Notaro works.
Very cool.
So I think in general, Omni-Man's a pretty simple powerhouse
the
character
balance,
to play,
okay.
but he's got great mobility options, great offensive ability, and I think the Viltrumite stage is going to be super, super interesting. to
And
see.
people, yeah, people sometimes like of my level probably. When you hear stance, you get a little scared. But his stance is actually not it's not your
No.
typical like. It's not that hard to use, really.
Right, it is not really hard to use, and he was not.
Yeah,
meant
Viltrumite
to.
stance
He is
gonna
meant
be
to be
so
like-
freaking
just
dirty.
Like he's on Invincible. He is just he's just
gonna be
tearing
good.
through people effortlessly. That's exactly what a design team went with, and I think they really. nailed
It
it.
shows, yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Super cool. I love it.
Yeah, I think he's going to be really, really cool. So would you guys like to see Tremor?
I think we would.
You know what? Let's just save it for another day, Raven.
Just save
Just
it?
save it for another day.
I'm gonna vote yes.
All right.
Okay, you
Wait,
suck.
okay, all right.
So Tremor's one of the most interesting cameos in the game, and I can't wait to see our players use him because he has more moves than any of the original roster cameos.
Okay.
Let's see how it works.
Let's do it.
So we all know Tremor debuted in Mortal Kombat Special Forces, but he really made his big playable debut in MKX.
Correct.
Where he had three variations.
Yes.
And that's something our design team wanted to bring back.
Mm-hmm.
He can actually go Aftershock, Metallic, and Crystalline, and he has
Sick.
a different set of moves in each stance.
So he
Let's
has
show how it
different
works.
variations
Starts
of
with Aftershock.
himself.
You can see in his life bar, and he's
Is that what I mean?
brown, rocky, kind of traditional looking, clobbering time, Tremor.
Right.
So he has 3 moves when he's in Aftershock. He has his Rock Punch. It's exactly what you'd expect. He just kind of
Lunge and
comes
punch.
in,
Yep.
it's safe on block, it knocks you away. You can use it to end your strings. He also has Up Punch, which is a pop-up starter.
Which I'm pretty sure he also had in MKX. Yes.
And then lastly, he has his Ground Pound, where he comes in, he does a low, and then pieces out. So if you have a really good overhead, for example, maybe you have a mid-screen overhead that's almost instant. You can also have a mid-screen low that's almost instant,
So good.
which is pretty awesome.
And that's just a knockdown. Hard-
Exactly,
yeah.
right.
And so
Yeah.
you would say Aftershock, he's sort of the attacker.
He's
Yeah, I would
that'd be
say
good for maybe
defensive,
somebody that's
it's
somebody trying to
pretty
zone you a
basic,
little
it's the
bit.
most kind of standard
Maybe.
Tremor,
Right.
kind of the one.
If
you
somebody
like
got
the
rain,
face,
you just
which
hit him
is
with
why
tremor, it's over.
So then, at any time, you hit R1, and he'll come out, and he'll cycle to the next one, which is Metallic. Now he has an entirely new
Oh
set of
yeah.
and they're all lava-based. He has his Lava Burst, which is like your mid-range,
Oh,
safe
that's
kind of,
that is.
there's no reason not to use it.
Okay.
He has an anti-air Lava Burst. And then this is really, really cool. He has his bowling ball, which is a low. And if you hold it, it becomes an overhead.
Ooh.
So he's got kind of
like I
mid-range
said, for
attacks.
zoning.
Plus a 50-50 from full screen.
So he's like
which you
good
can
for
mix up.
mid range.
Awesome.
Again,
so then,
straight out of MKX. It's so
Is he
cool.
good for
right. So
combos
then that
though?
gives you also zoning abilities or a projectile if you have a character that is lacking that.
Exactly.
Which is awesome.
Yeah.
Or if you have really good projectiles and you want to double down,
Double down.
mix-ups, you can go that way.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe you have like really great anti-air, and this can be a low that is going to make them want to jump. You know, you could put out Lime's Lantern and then be doing this. It's
Yep,
just
that's what I'm
all-
saying.
I think the creative freedom in the cameo system is the coolest part of the game, right?
Can't
Yeah,
agree
that's
And then lastly, one more stance,
Okay.
Crystalline.
People have been looking forward to this.
okay.
Yeah, Ed kind of teased it, and I think a lot of people guessed some of the stuff he could do.
Yeah, totally.
So,
Right.
in Crystalline, he has 2 attacks. He has Crystalline Burst, which will reflect projectiles.
Oh,
And
okay.
then the
That's
big
neat.
one. And a lot of people were like, there's no way they're going to do that. We did. Crystalline Armor. So once he has Crystalline Armor, it's doomsday for the opponent. Oops,
Oh.
I was too slow. Oh my god.
Is
Alright,
it-
here we go. So he's going to summon the armor,
Okay.
and people just absorb
Ooh.
attacks like an absolute badass.
Oh,
Right.
that's
And,
neat. How
so
long
the way
does?
this works, the cycling is once you do the summon, like I said, it'll go through. And it goes in a particular order. and if you look down in
so
R1,
you
it goes
can't
in the
just-
opposite
you
order.
can't-
So you could go
Gotcha.
from Crystalline to Aftershock instead of and skip Metallic in between, if that makes sense. It's like
Yeah.
the cycling.
Okay.
So there is definitely a skill cap
Yes.
on like people who can go back and forth and know what
Exactly.
you're doing. So like
Yeah.
yes, they have a lot of moves, but yes, you have to be cycling.
Yeah,
Exactly.
You have to manage
always
that.
Are gonna, right.
Oh,
You're gonna have
I
to
see.
manage the order that you're in because
So
you
you
cannot
gotta
go
you gotta
straight
manage
from
your
Aftershock to, or sorry, you can't go from Metallic
manage your
to
assists.
Aftershock unless you go down, like you cycle back,
right.
if that makes sense. I just confused myself.
Yeah.
But it'll make sense because
that's
there's only
good.
3.
Right.
So it's rather you
Yeah,
want
chores
to
in the middle of the fighting.
And then there's a really, really, really cool twist, I think, really sets him apart. When you call him out, it's an ambush move, and you can transition into any of these attacks. So let me show you. Right now I'm in Crystalline.
Right.
If I go to Aftershock and then immediately enter a back in R1, he will immediately, while still on screen, go into the ground pound. Like so.
Oh, interesting.
Or next in the cycle is Metallic. So let's say I wanted to do the bowling ball. I can do it that way. Or Crystalline. I can do instant Crystalline armor.
Interesting. Very cool.
So that means all of his moves can also be ambush moves if you commit to bringing him out, swapping, and then immediately doing the move. Now that's going to be somewhat risky. They can get you out of it. You're going to have to be where you are in the cycle and all that. So there's a lot of risk and a lot of
Yeah, because you're going to be staying still, and then the opponent can just like get a free combo on you.
And I think it's one of the cooler mechanics in the game for cameos.
Excellent.
Very cool.
So he can be like he can be like a 50-50 almost in between your characters, right? Am I saying that right? He's almost like 50-50 assists, right? Because he can do all these little mid to the and stopping people from trying to zone you and stuff like that. And then you can have like your little crystalline and then your shockers.
So that's that, huh?
I think we have one more thing to show.
All that upon.
His fatal blow, and the fatal blow attack that he goes into is pretty neat because again,
Here we go.
Speed. You can see here.
Nope.
Of course. Well, there you go.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, there it is. I'm pretty sure. Yep, that's it. All right, man. Yeah, Omni-Man looks like he could be fun, especially the air combos he got, and he's fast too, and he's powerful. Like I said, he got a little bit of the Superman moves here and there from DC versus MK. But yeah, man, he looks good. He looks good.